Chaturanga Dandasana is one of the harder postures if you lack upper body strength. Now I'm going to do a specific series that allows you to increase upper body strength, but I'm going to show you a couple of tricks here that allow you to make it a little bit easier, but also build up the fundamentals properly. I'm going to show you one of the main things that I see that goes wrong with the Chaturanga, and that is flaring of the elbows. So Chaturanga, I'm going to show you from this view so you can see the elbows start to flare. See my elbows come out like so. It's a little bit like a press up, right? Now look where the elbows are when you do a Chaturanga properly. Pinned in towards my sides. I'm going to show you the Chaturanga here in full form from a side view. So that is quite hard, especially if you haven't got much wrist mobility. So if you're lacking wrist mobility, then maybe have a go at my wrist mobility routine, which is available for you to use. And there's a couple of ways that we can make this easier. The first thing is putting our knees down towards the floor. So we put our knees down towards the floor, we come into like a half press up position, and we squeeze and tug through the pelvis, come over the top of the wrists, and you're trying to keep this forearm straight up, vertical, in towards the sky. Spread the fingers apart, push in through the thumb side of the hand, squeeze and tug, and lower the body down. You're drawing back with the shoulders, and you're tugging underneath with the hips, and you're pinning the elbows in towards the side of the body. And that's going to isolate the triceps a little bit more. The reason why people flare these elbows out the sides is because they try to use their chest, which is a bigger muscle. If that's too hard for you, then maybe bring the knees in. The further you bring the knees in, the less emphasis there is on the arms. But always try to keep this nice straight back position. But if you want to get stronger in a Chaturanga, maybe try some of these reps. Keeping the elbows in, pivoting forwards, bringing the toes up off the floor. So Chaturanga again. Maybe give it a go with me. I'm going to show you 3 different positions for it. Bring both feet together. Point through the toes, come over the tops of the wrists, draw the shoulders back. I'm looking straight down at the mat here, and then lower the chest. Keep the elbows in to about halfway until the upper arm is parallel to the floor, and then push straight back up. Pretty hard, right? If that's too much, come onto the knees, squeeze and tug through the hips, come forwards, lower down there again, same thing, push up. If that's too hard, bring the knees in, lower down, push back up. But always trying to keep these elbows pinned in. If we start with our first Chaturanga by having our elbows out, then we start to create the wrong movement pattern. What usually transitions in from a Chaturanga is an upward facing dog now. Again, it takes a lot of abdominal strength and a lot of bodily awareness. So I'll give you a few different variations. First I'm going to show you the transition between Chaturanga into upward facing dog, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So there you have it. That's that transition between the two. If you're not able to do the full Chaturanga into that outward facing dog, then just hang fire and watch this part. Let's do this together. Both feet together, shift forwards, come down halfway. Strong there, squeeze the glutes, come onto the front of the left foot, front of the right foot, and then extend the arms, tuck underneath of the pelvis to protect the back. And as you come up, draw the shoulders back and look up into the sky. If you're in that position, you'll know that it's pretty hard. I'll come down onto the knees. Now if we're doing the Chaturanga from your knees, I'm going to show you a couple of variations of moving into the kneeling Chaturanga into your upward facing dog, or a little bit of a changed up upward facing dog. Let's go onto our knees, squeeze and tuck, push into the floor, come over the wrists, come down, drawing the shoulders back, and then what I want you to do is squeeze and tuck with the pelvis, and we create this extension through the lower back. If you've got a bad back, then stay away from it. But we have to squeeze and tuck through the pelvis, have that pelvic control, and you can be on the fronts of your legs like I am now. The only difference between this and the upward facing dog that I showed you before is that my thighs are off the floor. But you get a little bit more control here by being on your knees. The next step up from here can be tucking the toes and squeezing and lifting off with the legs and drawing back. Yeah, next progression onto the fronts of the feet, lifting up. Let's go through the Chaturanga again. I'm going to take you through both of them, the first and the second. So this is the hard version. Lift up through the knees, shift forwards, come down halfway, left foot onto the front of the left foot, onto the front of the right foot, draw the shoulders back, look up towards the sky. Drop down onto the knees. From the knees, tuck underneath with the hips, come forwards, lower down, and then lift up, drop through the hips, squeeze the bum, draw the shoulders back, feel the back body engage, look into the sky. Even try to tuck the toes, lift up with the thighs, but never cranking through the back. And there you have it, Chaturanga, moving into your upward facing dog or your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. It's a hard movement, so don't worry if you don't get it straight away. If you've never really trained upper body strength, it may take you a while to start to build it. But don't worry, I'm going to be doing a separate series which will allow you to build upper body strength. Then movements like that will become a lot easier.